Hello, brothers and sisters in Christ. Today we're going to talk about suicide. Well, that's a very delicate topic, actually. A few weeks ago, there was a very serious event happened here in Tirana. A family, they took their own lives. They were followers of Jehovah's Witnesses, and medias and the public here, they began demanding if there were an association with what the Bible teaches. So I'm going to clarify for you today. First of all, what God teaches is that one of the commandments that He gave to Moses in Mount Sinai, it was that "Thou shalt not commit murder." So He doesn't want anyone to commit murder. That's a sin, actually. Even when you commit a murder toward your own life, when you kill yourself, I think that's considered a murder, actually. So there's a high number of people taking their own lives. It's about 20 or 22 people a day in the whole world. They take their own lives. They decide to kill themselves. I think they see it as a solution to their own problems. Many times when they lose their jobs, or if they get a divorce, after they get a divorce, they get into a serious in depression, and that's the time when they get tempted to commit suicide. Actually, we have a couple of passages talking about people who committed suicide in the Bible. For example, we have Saul. Saul was a king. He started it good with God. He began obeying God, and but after that he had problems. He didn't follow his. He didn't obey fully to God. But God is a perfect God. He wants us to obey fully. He doesn't want us to to be half people, one time to obey and the other time I disobey. So I think it was because of his ambition. It was because of his ego. He was jealous because people loved David more, and he was not as much loved from people as David. So he wanted to kill David, actually. So he started not only disobeying God, but he was committing other sins as well, until the end, when Philistines attacked his army. He was seriously wounded, and when he took his own life, because he didn't want to be killed by the Philistines. So another occasion, when is in Matthew chapter 27, I think, maybe verse 4 or 5, when Judas, after he betrayed Jesus, he brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the priests, and after that immediately he went to hang himself on a tree. And I think that was another sin, and usually the sin of suicide, it comes as a result of other sins, So the Bible teaches us that our bodies are the temple of God. So we should take care of our bodies. We should feed them. We should treat them with respect, so that we don't desecrate God's temple. So that means that we should take in consideration what we do with our bodies every day, and that doesn't mean only what we do in superficially. That also means what we say. It means what we do. That it's not our bodies, but actually it's our heart and mind that makes who we are. So we should be very careful with how we talk to other people. One of the greatest commandment that God gives for each and every one of us is to love one another. You know, to love is much better than to hate. Actually, Saul, as I mentioned before, he forsake the love of God in order to pursue his own ambitions of hating other people, because he was jealous, as I said. So you see, sin often follows other sins. As we sin once, we become acquainted with these sins, and other sins come into play. So we should be very, very careful with sins, because this one sin could lead us to other more serious sins. Like, for example, jealousy and ambition and ego, they could lead us to other sins like killing, you know. And for example, the temptation the sexual temptation is a very, very serious and grave sin. It's a serious temptation that could lead to death, actually. Jesus says that if someone lusts another woman, if someone sees a woman with lust, he has committed adultery in his own heart. So it means that's a very serious sin. You see, even even what we see, even what we hear, sometimes could be a sin. So we should be very careful with our lifestyles, actually. Well, I must say, not getting away from the topic, I must say that suicide, people who commit suicide often see it as a way to escape their own problems. You know, maybe they have work problems, they have marriage problems, they have financial problems, and they could see as an alternative, as a solution to their own problems. But you know, God is a faithful God, is a sovereign God. So He didn't promise that our lives would be, you know, totally painless and pain-free. He actually wants us to. He actually wants us to grow through the pain and through sufferance. And people who were loved or who obeyed to God and who were like as I can put it, the Bible heroes like David and Joseph and Moses and Paul. All of them they suffered for the faith. So that was it for this episode. Until the next episode, I wish you the richest blessings. God bless you. Bye.